Let me introduce myself. I'm Vince DeNoto. I'm the author of this class as well as your instructor. This class is CIT 229. CIT 229 is Topics in GIS. The topic for this class will be web mapping. It's about how we get our information out onto the World Wide Web. This video that you're watching is going to be broken into two parts. You're going to see an introduction, which is what we're doing right now, and after we see the introduction, we're going to actually sit down at a computer and I'm going to walk you through some of the processes in Blackboard so that you understand how to use Blackboard and get to the different parts. So let me talk a little bit about the different parts of the class. We're going to have a syllabus quiz. That's the first thing that you must do. And you might think, why should I do a syllabus quiz? Why is that needed? It serves a couple purposes for us. One, it shows us when you really start the class that means that you've really done something other than just reading the material that we have presented to you. So we have a clear start time for you. The other thing is, it's very important that you understand how this class is structured, but it's a little bit unique on how it's structured. So make sure that you understand how you're going to be graded and how the class is structured. The class is going to be divided into three major components, which we'll call modules. These modules will have different numbers of chapters in them and different types of assignments in them. But when you start a new module, the first thing you're going to do is take a pretest. And the pretest gives us some knowledge of what you know about the subject. Now, we don't expect you to have large amounts of knowledge about the subject because we assume that most of you are new to this subject. But for a few of you, you might have a good knowledge about some parts of this. So if on the first pretest you scored 90%, then you don't have to go through all the course material. What you can do at that point is go straight to the final assessment, which will be an authentic case study. There will be a rubric there for the case study, and if you pass the case study at a 90% level, then you can skip that whole module. So we were talking about Module 1, you skip that complete Module 1 and go straight to Module 2. But for most people, you're going to probably score less than 90% on the pretest, and therefore you're going to go through all the assignments and then finally get to the authentic case study again. And if you score at least 75% at that point, you move on to the next module with the appropriate letter grade for that module. If you score less than 75%, you can go back through until you get up to a 75% and then you progress forward. Now there will be a few cases where somebody might score 90% on the pretest, but on the case study then they score less than 90%. Those people would loop back into all the assignments just like the people I talked about a moment ago. So as I said, there are three major modules that we're going to be doing, and these are got different topics with them. So we're got topics 1 through 3, and I'll talk about what those topics are in just a moment in Module 1, only topic 4 in Module 2, and topics 5 through 7 in Module 3. So the whole purpose of this class is how do we display information online. So how do you go to a web browser, open up a map, and it has your data on it, not just like a Google map or another type of map that you may have used in the past. The first three topics are an introduction, setting up an ArcGIS server, and then taking the data from that ArcGIS server and displaying it using either Silverlight or Viewer for Flex. So that's the first module. The first module is composed of an introduction, setting up the ArcGIS server, and then displaying the information using two different programs to display that information. The second module, which is composed of only topic 4, is working with ArcGIS Online. ArcGIS Online is a very, very powerful mapping tool, which will also create maps that it can be viewed by the general population. They can be locked maps that you have to have a password to get into, or you can actually go out and collect field data using ArcGIS Online. So ArcGIS Online will be Module 2, which is topic 4. The final three topics will be in Module 3. The first topic will be OpenStreetMap. And the way to think about OpenStreetMap is, think of it as a Wikipedia of mapping. It is an open source map that the general population can add data to. There is curation of the map to make sure that garbage isn't going onto the map, but any individual who wants to set up an account and there's no charge for the account can start adding data about their local community. We're going to talk about story maps, and we're going to use 3 different pieces of software to look at story maps, some open source, some proprietary, and what we're going to look at is how you create a story using a map. So how do you take pictures, descriptions, video, and maps and combine it all together? And the final component of topic 7 in module 3 is going to be working with open source data and commercial data, putting these together. So how do we take an open source piece of software and then also bring into that open piece of source of software a commercial service like our ArcGIS account? So these are the 3 components that we have, the 3 modules composed of 7 total topics with a split of 3 topics in the first module, 1 topic in the second module, and 3 topics in the third module. Greetings. As you can see, we're back and you can see my computer screen now. And we're going to try to look through some of the different parts of the course. So over here on the left-hand side, you see a menu. In the middle here, you're going to see the major content, and then you've got some buttons up across the top to look at. So we're going to start with the Start Here area. As you can see, I've already got that loaded. And you can see this is a Learn on Demand course, and hopefully you already understand the differences between a regular course and a Learn on Demand course. There's lots of different areas here that you can look at, and you should peruse this area on all the different things that it does. We will be using software in this class, and it tells you a little bit about the software that we're going to be using. Over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Syllabus. And on the Syllabus tab, you can see information, general information about the course. And if you look at the bottom here, you can see there is a syllabus quiz. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But first, I just want to go to the course syllabus, which should open up in a new tab. This course is a 3 credit hour course. It's composed of 3 modules. The modules are not equally weighted. The first module is worth 1 credit hour. The second module is worth 0.8 of a credit hour. And the third module is worth 1.2 credit hours. So there's a little bit more emphasis and a little bit more grade based upon the third module than there is on the other modules. I need to call to your attention across the top there are 9 pages in the syllabus. So if you just scroll down and get down to the bottom, there's a next page and return to the top, but realize you can also go to individual pages by looking at the numbered pages. So here you can see some of the content that's in the course, some of the competencies of the course, some general ed competencies. I'm just going to go to the next page and look around a little bit. There is this pretest that we talked about before. It's explained a little bit more here in the syllabi. Assignments that you're going to turn in to me will be worth 30%. The case studies will be worth 70%. And we'll look at them on a module by module basis. So 30% of the total grade is going to be on assignments. 70% is on the case study. There's 1 case study for each module. This is a little calculating window. You can see here the basis of our grades. This little calculating window is at 1 credit hour here, gives you the total grade for the first module, then 0.8 for the second, and 1.2 for the third. So again, more emphasis on the third module than on the second module. A little bit about dropping the class and plagiarism, a little bit about starfish and so on there. Some of the other resources that you might want to use. And finally, our disclaimer. So I am going to go back to the syllabus area and scroll down to the bottom, and you notice there's this thing called a syllabus quiz. And if you look here, you must get 100% on the syllabus quiz before you can move forward. If you don't get 100% on the syllabus quiz, you will not be able to move forward. There are 10 questions on the syllabus quiz. And what we need to do is take the syllabus quiz, because I cannot move forward without having taken the syllabus quiz. So let me show you that. So if I click over here on Module 1, that module will not open up correctly because I've not completed the syllabus quiz. So what I'm going to do is go take the syllabus quiz. So I'm going to stop the video for the moment, take the syllabus quiz, and then come back and show you some of the content area of the course. Welcome back. You can see that I'm still on the syllabus page, but I have gone and taken the syllabus quiz. So now I'm going to try to go and access Module 1. And you notice I get another stop here. And now we're going to bypass this stop, but this stop comes in because each module requires us to take a CPL exam before we move forward. So this pretest that we've referred to it as is credit for prior learning. Each of the modules has one of these tests. It doesn't matter what you get on the test, it doesn't count in your final grade, but if you do get 90% or above, you'll be directed directly to the end assessment, which will be an authentic case study, and not have to turn in all the homework in between. If you get less than 90%, you'll be directed to go and do the normal assignments and the normal learning operations that in a normal class. So therefore, the CPL exam can only help you, it can't hurt your grade. So what I have done is I have bypassed the CPL exam just to show you what the course structure looks a little bit like. So we're going to come here and take a look at the course structure. Notice it does carry 2 numbers. It depends if you take it as Learn on Demand or if you take it as a normal course. And the course content is all sitting here, and there are 7 topics as we talked about before. The first 3 are in Module 1, the 4th one is in Module 2, and the last 3 are in Module 3. So if I choose any topic, you can see then there are assumptions and items like that. So let me just, for the sake, go to topic 4, using a map service. I'm just going to click on that just so we get a feel for what this looks like. You can see here the course content. We have imagery where you need imagery to understand how things work. The little camera icon tells us that you should take a picture of this area and turn that picture in. There'll be places in Blackboard to submit your pictures. Each picture is worth 25 points, where an assignment's worth 100 points. And then when you get down to the bottom here, you can see there are buttons to keep your navigation moving forward. So this is a typical type class page that you will run into. If you want to look at the assignment list, just click on assignments and you can see all the different assignments. There's a quiz in topic 1, there's an assignment plus a quiz in topic 2, there's 2 assignments in topic 3 plus an authentic case study. So that's Module 1. Module 2 is in the middle column. There are 2 assignments there and an authentic case study plus some pictures to turn in. Likewise, there's pictures in the first column. And the third column, there are just assignments, and that's why this part is worth a little bit more in credit hours. You can see there that there are 6 assignments to turn in. I'm sorry, 7 assignments. I missed one there. And there is the authentic case study. So you can see there is more content here, but some of these are very quick and very easy to do. So if I go back to our Blackboard class, until you take the pretest, you're going to see this stop and you won't be able to get to the content. Once you pass the pretest, and that just means that you've taken it by passing it, then you'll move forward. Again, for those of you who get 90%, you'll be directed in one pathway. For those of you getting less than 90% on the pretest, will be directed in a different pathway. So here's some of the items in Blackboard. If you've never used Blackboard, you need to take a look at some of the items in Blackboard so that you understand what Blackboard does. There will be a place where you can go and look at your grades in Blackboard also. So this gives you a feel for some of the content that we do in Blackboard. At any time during the semester, if you have issues, feel free to communicate with me as your instructor, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you, and have fun during this semester.